Have you ever wondered who truly laid the foundation for modern civilization? Thousands of years ago, in the land we now call Mesopotamia, an extraordinary people known as the Sumerians emerged. They weren't just farmers or traders, they were inventors, thinkers, and visionaries. From creating the first written language to devising the concept of time that we still use today, their brilliance continues to shape our world in ways most of us don't even realize. But how did a civilization from such ancient times accomplish so much? What drove their creativity, and why did their achievements outlast them by millennia? Could it be that they tapped into something greater, a divine spark of human ingenuity gifted by the Creator? Or were they simply ahead of their time, showing us what humans are capable of when they strive for progress? As Muslims, we are encouraged to reflect on the rise and fall of civilizations. The Quran often speaks about nations that came before us, their strengths, and their downfalls. In Surah Al-Fajr, Allah says, "Have you not seen how your Lord dealt with Ad?" This reminds us to study history, not just for knowledge, but for lessons that guide our lives today. In this video, we'll explore the Sumerians' remarkable contributions, from their groundbreaking inventions to their ideas that still influence our world. More importantly, we'll examine their story through an Islamic lens, connecting their legacy to divine wisdom and timeless truths. So, get ready to uncover the brilliance of a civilization whose echoes still resonate in our modern world. The Sumerians were one of the earliest known civilizations in human history, flourishing in the region of Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, around 4500 BCE. Known as the cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia is where the Sumerians laid the foundation for many aspects of society that we now take for granted. But who were they really, and what made them so extraordinary? The Sumerians were not a single, unified nation but rather a collection of city-states such as Uruk, and Eridu. Each city-state operated independently, with its own government, religion, and economy, yet they shared a common language and cultural practices. This sense of shared identity allowed them to thrive despite the challenges of their harsh environment. Situated between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, Mesopotamia was fertile yet unpredictable. Seasonal flooding made agriculture possible but also required innovative solutions to control water. The Sumerians responded by developing one of history's first irrigation systems, transforming their arid surroundings into productive farmland. This agricultural abundance enabled the growth of cities, trade, and specialization of labor, setting the stage for a complex and advanced society. The Sumerians were pioneers in nearly every sense. They invented cuneiform, the world's first known written language, to keep records of trade, laws, and religious practices. This breakthrough in communication not only supported their economy but also allowed their ideas to be preserved and shared for future generations. In addition to writing, they developed the concept of time, dividing the day into 24 hours and the hour into 60 minutes, a system we still use today. Their mathematical innovations included a base 60 numeral system, which laid the groundwork for geometry and astronomy. Even the wheel, an invention that revolutionized transportation and machinery, is credited to the Sumerians. The Sumerians were deeply spiritual, worshipping a pantheon of gods associated with natural forces and human activities. Temples, or ziggurats, were the center of their cities, reflecting their belief that the gods played a vital role in every aspect of life. However, as Muslims, we understand that their polytheistic beliefs deviate from the concept of Tawhid, the oneness of Allah. Their practices serve as a reminder of the Quranic verses that caution humanity against associating partners with Allah. While the Sumerians are not explicitly mentioned in the Quran or Hadith, their existence aligns with references to ancient civilizations that rose and fell due to their actions. Surah Al-Hijr, for instance, reminds us, "And we destroyed many cities that were unjust, and we produced after them another people." 15:6. This verse encourages us to reflect on the transience of human achievements when not grounded in faith and righteousness. It is also intriguing to consider how the Sumerians' accomplishments echo aspects of divine knowledge bestowed upon humanity. For example, their advancements in agriculture and governance align with the idea that Allah provides humans with the tools to cultivate the earth responsibly. The Sumerians were not only inventors but also artists and storytellers. Their myths, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, are some of the oldest literary works in history. These stories often explored themes of morality, mortality, and the human relationship with the divine. While their worldview differed from Islamic teachings, their narratives highlight universal questions that resonate with humanity across time. Their legal system, known as the Code of Ur-Nammu, predates the famous Code of Hammurabi and offers insights into their sense of justice and social order. Though imperfect, these early attempts at governance show humanity's ongoing struggle to establish fairness and accountability. As Muslims, studying the Sumerians helps us appreciate the diversity of human history and the continuous thread of Allah's guidance. Their achievements remind us of the potential Allah has given humanity to create, innovate, and adapt. At the same time, their shortcomings and eventual decline serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of forgetting our Creator. The Quran frequently calls us to reflect on past civilizations, such as in Surah Ghafir, have they not traveled through the earth and observed how was the end of those who were before them? They were greater than them in power, and they left firmer traces on the earth. 40:21. This verse encourages us to learn from history, not just to admire its wonders, but to draw lessons that guide our actions today. In summary, the Sumerians were a remarkable civilization whose brilliance shaped the foundations of the modern world. Their innovations, culture, and challenges offer profound insights into the human experience. By exploring their legacy, we not only uncover the roots of our shared heritage but also gain a deeper understanding of our responsibilities as stewards of Allah's creation. The Sumerians, one of the most remarkable civilizations of the ancient world, contributed innovations that have endured for thousands of years. Their legacy lives on in many aspects of our modern lives, often in ways we might not even realize. From technological breakthroughs to cultural practices, the Sumerians' brilliance continues to shape our world. The Sumerians developed the world's first known written language, cuneiform, around 3100 BCE. Using wedge-shaped symbols on clay tablets, they created a system for recording trade transactions, laws, and religious texts. Today, writing remains one of humanity's most critical tools for communication, education, and preserving knowledge. Whether through books, emails, or text messages, the foundation of written language laid by the Sumerians continues to influence how we share ideas. The concept of dividing time into measurable units is another Sumerian contribution. They developed the sexagesimal base 60 numeral system, which gave us the division of an hour into 60 minutes and a minute into 60 seconds. This system is still used globally in timekeeping, as well as in geometry and navigation. Their approach to time demonstrates an understanding of precision and organization that is fundamental to modern society. The invention of the wheel is perhaps one of the most revolutionary contributions by the Sumerians. Originally designed for pottery making, it was later adapted for transportation. Wheeled carts made it easier to move goods and people, transforming trade and travel. The wheel remains a cornerstone of modern engineering, from vehicles to machinery, underscoring its timeless utility. The Sumerians were pioneers in agriculture, particularly in the development of irrigation systems. Living in the floodplains of Mesopotamia, they built canals, dams, and reservoirs to control the flow of water from the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. This innovation ensured a steady supply of water for farming, enabling them to grow surplus crops and sustain large populations. Modern agricultural irrigation systems still rely on principles established by the Sumerians, highlighting their ingenuity in addressing environmental challenges. The Sumerians were among the first to design and construct organized cities. They established city-states with ziggurats, temples, residential areas, and marketplaces strategically placed for efficiency and functionality. Their urban planning principles continue to influence modern architecture and city design, ensuring that infrastructure supports both human needs and economic activities. The Sumerians introduced one of the earliest known legal codes, the Code of Ur-Nammu. This set of laws established justice and social order, addressing issues such as property disputes, marriage, and crime. The concept of codified law has evolved significantly, but the Sumerians' focus on justice remains a cornerstone of modern legal systems worldwide. The Sumerians' mathematical advancements laid the groundwork for geometry and arithmetic. They used their base 60 system to calculate areas, volumes, and measurements crucial for construction and astronomy. Today, geometry and mathematics are indispensable in fields ranging from engineering to computer science, reflecting the enduring relevance of Sumerian innovations. The Sumerians were keen observers of the heavens. They tracked celestial movements to create calendars and predict seasonal changes, which were vital for agriculture and religious festivals. Their study of the stars marked the beginning of astronomy as a scientific discipline. Modern astronomy owes much to their early efforts, as their observations laid the foundation for understanding the universe. The Sumerians developed standardized units of measurement to facilitate trade and construction. They used precise weights and measures to ensure fairness in commerce and accuracy in building projects. Today, standardized measurements are essential in global trade, engineering, and scientific research, reflecting the practicality of their approach. The Sumerians introduced the idea of kingship as a central form of governance. They believed their kings were chosen by the gods to lead and protect their people, establishing a divine connection to rulership. While modern governments have evolved to be more secular, the concept of centralized leadership can trace its roots back to Sumerian practices. Sumerians are credited with brewing the first beer, which they considered a gift from the gods. They documented recipes and brewing techniques, making beer a significant part of their culture and economy. Today, beer remains a globally popular beverage, with modern brewing techniques still reflecting the basic principles developed by the Sumerians. The Sumerians were lovers of music, creating instruments such as the lyre and harp. They integrated music into religious ceremonies, celebrations, and daily life. Their contributions to musical instruments and notation systems have influenced the development of music across cultures, showcasing the universality of their creativity. The Sumerians practiced early forms of medicine, using natural remedies to treat illnesses and injuries. They documented their knowledge on clay tablets, providing some of the first written medical records. While their methods were rudimentary compared to modern medicine, their efforts laid the groundwork for understanding the human body and treating ailments. The Sumerians' innovations demonstrate their brilliance in solving practical problems and shaping society. Their contributions, ranging from writing to astronomy, remain integral to our lives, proving that their legacy is not confined to history but continues to thrive in the modern world. The Sumerians, one of the earliest known civilizations, developed a complex system of ideas and beliefs that profoundly influenced their society and the cultures that followed. Their worldview was deeply rooted in religion, mythology, and their understanding of the natural and supernatural realms. At the heart of Sumerian belief was a pantheon of gods and goddesses who controlled various aspects of life and nature. Each deity had specific roles, such as Anu, the god of the sky, Enlil, the god of air and storms, and Inanna, the goddess of love and war. These gods were seen as powerful yet temperamental beings who needed to be appeased through rituals, sacrifices, and offerings. Temples, or ziggurats, were built as sacred spaces to honor and communicate with them. The Sumerians believed that humans were created by the gods to serve them, particularly in labor-intensive tasks like farming and temple maintenance. This belief gave rise to a sense of duty and submission to divine will. Their myths often conveyed moral lessons and explanations for natural phenomena, such as the famous story of the Great Flood, which shares striking similarities with the biblical and Quranic narratives. They also explored the concept of the afterlife, although their view was somewhat grim. The Sumerians envisioned the underworld as a shadowy realm where souls existed in a bleak and joyless state, emphasizing the importance of living a righteous and productive life. These ideas and beliefs reveal the Sumerians' quest to understand their existence and the world around them. Their intellectual and spiritual endeavors not only shaped their culture but also laid the groundwork for many concepts found in later civilizations, including those in the Abrahamic traditions. From an Islamic perspective, the Sumerians can be seen as one of the many ancient civilizations mentioned indirectly in the Quran. Allah refers to past nations who rose to power but ultimately perished due to their arrogance and denial of divine guidance. Have they not traveled through the earth and observed how the end of those before them was? They were greater than them in power, and they plowed the earth and built upon it more than they have built. Quran 30:9. The Sumerians, known for their ingenuity and groundbreaking achievements, likely fall into this category of advanced nations that strayed from monotheism. Historical records indicate that Sumerians were deeply polytheistic, worshipping a pantheon of gods. Islam, however, emphasizes that all nations were sent prophets to guide them toward the worship of one God. While there is no direct mention of a prophet sent to the Sumerians, it is plausible that they too received divine guidance but later deviated from it. Their stories of gods and myths may reflect distorted accounts of actual events or divine messages over time. The Quran cautions against fabricating partners for Allah or altering His guidance. As Muslims, studying the Sumerians reminds us of the fleeting nature of worldly power and the importance of adhering to truth and humility. Their legacy of innovation inspires us, but their spiritual failings serve as a stark warning to prioritize faith and obedience to Allah over material success. The legacy of the Sumerians is both awe-inspiring and thought-provoking. As one of the earliest known civilizations, they laid the foundation for many aspects of modern life. Their ingenuity in developing the first writing system, cuneiform, revolutionized communication and record-keeping. This invention not only preserved their history but also influenced the development of other writing systems across the ancient world. The Sumerians also excelled in agriculture, introducing irrigation techniques that allowed them to thrive in the fertile yet challenging environment of Mesopotamia. Their contributions to mathematics, such as the creation of a base 60 system, still impact our measurement of time and geometry today. Architecturally, they pioneered the ziggurat, a structure that symbolizes their religious devotion and societal structure. However, their legacy goes beyond inventions and achievements. The Sumerians' cultural and intellectual advancements remind us of humanity's potential to innovate and adapt. From governance systems to trade networks, they established frameworks that shaped the civilizations that followed. For Muslims, their legacy also serves as a lesson in humility. Despite their brilliance, the Sumerians faded into history, a reminder that worldly accomplishments, while significant, must be coupled with faith and moral responsibility to ensure true success. In Islam, history is not merely a collection of events but a treasure trove of lessons. The Quran often emphasizes reflecting on the rise and fall of past nations to gain wisdom. Allah says in the Quran, "Indeed, there were lessons in their stories for those of understanding." Surah Yusuf 111. The Sumerians, like many ancient civilizations, remind us of the potential of human intellect and innovation. However, their disappearance also teaches the transient nature of worldly achievements. Islam encourages believers to learn from such histories, recognizing that arrogance, neglect of divine guidance, or an imbalance between worldly progress and spiritual grounding can lead to downfall. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, also emphasized learning and seeking knowledge. By studying past civilizations like the Sumerians, Muslims can appreciate human ingenuity while remaining mindful of the importance of morality and faith. The Quran recounts stories of previous nations not for entertainment but as lessons to guide humanity towards righteousness. In essence, history is a mirror. It allows us to understand the cycles of human behavior and divine justice, urging us to strive for a balance between material success and spiritual growth to achieve lasting prosperity. The story of the Sumerians is more than an ancient tale, it's a profound reminder of human potential and the delicate balance required to sustain it. Their brilliance in creating systems, technologies, and cultural structures has left an indelible mark on human history. However, their eventual decline serves as a cautionary tale about the impermanence of worldly achievements without moral and spiritual guidance. As Muslims, the Quran invites us to reflect on such histories. Did they not travel through the land and observe what was the end of those before them? Surah Ar-Rum 9. By studying civilizations like the Sumerians, we gain insight into the importance of innovation, humility, and a life aligned with divine principles. In today's world, we stand at a crossroads. Like the Sumerians, we have advanced in science and technology, but we must ensure these advancements don't lead to moral decay or arrogance. The lessons from the Sumerians urge us to foster innovation while grounding ourselves in faith and ethical responsibility. As we conclude this exploration, ask yourself, what lessons can you implement in your life? How can we, as individuals and communities, balance worldly progress with spiritual growth? Subscribe to our channel for more enlightening content like this, and join us in uncovering the mysteries of history through the lens of faith. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments and help spread this knowledge by liking and sharing the video. Together, let's learn and grow.